Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage our MC for the evening, Way 31's evening news anchor, Marie Waxel.
Good evening, esteemed guests, and welcome to the 21st Annual Women Honoring Women event. I'm Marie Waxel, Way 31 evening anchor, and I'm truly honored to share this evening with those of you here in person and thrilled to say hello to all of you watching at home tonight. This evening will be quite a night of inspiration. Inspiration, as we know, comes in many forms and fashion. It can have both immediate and long-term impacts on your life. When I think of inspiration as a woman, I think of two people. I think of my mom, who always taught me how to look for the very best in others, never to give up, and to treat others with kindness no matter what happens. I also think of the very first female anchor I ever worked alongside. I watched Diana Watson juggle her successful career and motherhood. And while it was messy, she did it with grace and love. These days, I find myself in a similar position, juggling a career I'm very passionate about, living in a community I absolutely love. And on top of that, I'm a proud military spouse, and I'm a proud mother. To all the strong women that I look up to and admire, those of you I've yet to meet, the 6 to 12, 15, 20 of you that I've just met today, thank you so much for paving the way. Ladies, look around you. You can have it all. You just have to be willing to get a little messy now and then. Laugh and give yourself a little grace, because you never know who's watching and whose life you may impact. And now we have the very impactful Rashida Wilson, Director of ELO at Alabama A&M University and founder of NLI, here to deliver tonight's invocation.
Thank you, Marie. Good evening. Let us pray. Most gracious, kind, and sovereign God, we gather this evening first to honor your presence and to say thank you. We thank you for your love, your grace, your mercy, your joy, and your peace that we encounter with the blessing of each and every new day. We pause to acknowledge and pray for a world where so many are in need, as we don't take for granted that what we have been blessed with, someone else may be praying for. Thank you for the simple reminder that extending love to humanity beyond ourselves is our reasonable service. Thank you for the amazing community of people represented in this room today who understand that impact is only as tangible as we choose to make it. So as we come together tonight to celebrate, we say thank you for the amazing influence of the WEDC Foundation and the tangible impact and tremendous efforts of the women who are pillars of light within our community and beyond. We understand that this evening is a mark in history, so we don't take it for granted that we get to celebrate these honorees, their hearts of love, their hands of service, and the beautiful picture of hope that they share with the world. We thank you, Father, for using these women to remind us that we can't regain time and tomorrow is not promised. So we must accept the charge to use our influence to bring hope to this world. Bless us this evening as we partake in fellowship and food, reminding us that it is only through you that evenings like tonight are made possible. It is in your blessed name that we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Rashida. As we begin our dinner tonight, we are pleased to introduce our musical guest for the evening, the very talented, very lovely singer-songwriter, Carmisha. Carmisha is a musical artist, a touring background singer for Ruben Studdard, touring as in she still does it. And she is a lead singer for the local blazing band Element 11. She also wears a few hats in modern music and art education. And tonight, she's accompanied by Micah J., engineer by day, multi-instrumentalist, and guitarist of Element 11 by night. You are going to love tonight's entertainment. Please enjoy your dinner and help us welcome Carmisha and Micah to the stage.
Good afternoon, everyone. Again, my name is Carmisha, and this is Micah J. He's going to be accompanying me tonight. Listen, feel free to have your conversations. We are here just to give you some soothing sounds to your ears, have your good conversations, eat the food, and we hope that you enjoy what you hear. Nothing seems complete. I stand up and I'm searching for the better part of me. I hang my head from sorrow, state of humanity. I wear it on my shoulders, gotta find the strength in me, 'cause I am superwoman. Yes, I am. Yes, you are. Even when I'm a mess, I still put on my best with an S so much as, oh yes, I'm a superwoman. For all the mothers fighting for better days to come, and all my women sitting here trying to come home before the sun. My sisters, coming together, say yes I will, yes I can, 'cause I am superwoman. Yes I am, yes you are. Even when I'm a mess, I still put on my best with an S so much as, oh yes, I'm a superwoman. When I'm breaking down and I can't be found, and I start to get weak, 'cause no one knows me underneath these clothes, but I can fly. We can fly, oh, 'cause I am superwoman. Yes, I am. Yes, you are. Even when I'm a mess, I still put on my best with an S so much as, oh yes, I'm a superwoman. 'Cause I am superwoman. Yes, I am. I'm a superwoman. Thank you. When I wake up in the morning, love, and the sunlight hurts my eyes, and something without warning, love, bears heavy on my mind. Then I look at you, and the world's alright with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day. A lovely day. When the day that lies ahead of me seems impossible to face, when someone else instead of me always seems to know the way, then I look at you and the world's alright with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day. A lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day. When the day that lies ahead of me seems impossible to face, and when someone else instead of me always seems to know the way, then I look at you, and the world's alright with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day. A lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day. Then I look at you, and the world's alright with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day. A lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day. Gonna be a lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day. Gonna be a lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day. A lovely day. This life can make me so confused, but it's alright. Living day by day, I feel so used, that ain't right. I just wanna run and hide, but I don't have the time to cry. And it's alright, it's alright. Many thoughts are running through my head, and it's alright. Wishing to be somewhere else but here, and it's alright. And I can't wait to see your face. I need a smile and your embrace, and it's alright, alright. Yeah, yeah. Life can bring us through many changes, it's alright. Never give up, know that it's gonna be alright. People come and they go, it's just the way that it goes. Sometimes the rain, it makes me sad, and it's alright. Something in the world, they make me mad, and it's alright. In the morning when I see the sun, I know I'm not the only one, and it's alright. It's alright, yeah. I wish I had some money to pay my bills. I can't even buy that dress on sale, but it's alright. Having money don't mean a thing. Loving you is everything, and I'm alright. I'm alright, yeah. Life can bring us through many changes, it's alright. Just don't give up, know that it's gonna be alright. People come and they go, it's just the way that it goes. Oh, everything is everything. Everything is alright. Life can bring us through many changes, it's alright. Just don't give up, know that it's gonna be alright. People come and they go, it's just the way that it goes. Life can bring us through many changes, it's alright. Just don't give up, know that it's gonna be alright. People come and they go, it's just the way that it goes. I'm taking my freedom, putting it on the shelf, putting it on my chain, wearing it around my neck. I'm taking my freedom, putting it in my car. Wherever I choose to go, it will take me far. I'm living my life like it's golden, living my life it's golden. Living my life like 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 it's golden. I'm taking my own freedom, putting it in my song, singing loud and strong, grooving all day long. I'm taking my freedom, putting it in my stroll. I'll be high stepping y'all, letting the joy unfold. I'm living my life like it's golden, 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 living my life like it's golden. I'm holding on to my freedom, can't take it from me. I was born into it, it comes naturally. I'm strumming my own freedom, playing the God in me, representing its glory. Hope he's proud of me. Hope he's proud of me. Oh, living my life like it's golden, 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 living my life like it's golden, 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 living my life like it's golden, 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 living my life like it's golden, 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 golden. I'm living my life like it's golden, 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 living my life like it's golden. Yeah, 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 yeah. Living my life like it's golden, 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 living my life like it's, living my life like it's golden, living my life like it's golden, golden. Everybody's got a thing, but some don't know how to handle it. Always reaching out in vain, just taking the things not worth having. Don't you worry about a thing. Don't you worry about a thing, mama. 'Cause I'll be standing on the side when you're checking out. They say your styles of life attract, and that you must go other places. Just don't you feel too bad when you get fooled by smiling faces. Don't you worry about a thing. Don't you worry about a thing, mama. 'Cause I'll be standing on the side when you check it out. Don't you worry about a thing. Everybody needs a change, a chance to check out the new, yeah. You're the only one who sees the changes you take yourself through. Don't you worry about a thing. 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 Ba 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 ba. Don't you worry about a thing. Don't you worry about a thing, baby. 'Cause I'll be standing on the side when you check it out. When you get off your trip, don't you worry about a thing. Don't worry about a thing. Don't you 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 worry about a thing. All right, we're about to do our last song. I hope you guys have enjoyed us. It seems like the food is good. I smell it, and y'all are eating, y'all are talking, so I hope y'all have enjoyed us while y'all have been talking and eating and everything. We're on our last song, and we will be out of your way for the night. And again, my name is Carmisha, and this is Micah J. If you are like what you're hearing, please feel free to follow us on social media. It's literally my name. It's in the book. It's his name, Micah J, M-I-C-A-H-J. You can find us on all social media. Thank you as we do this last song. Guess you wonder where I've been. I searched to find the love within. I came back to let you know. Got a thing for you, and I can't let go. My friends wonder what is wrong with me. Well, I'm in the days from your love, you see. I came back to let you know. Got a thing for you, and I can't let go. Some people go around the world for love, but they may never find what they dream of. What you won't do for love. You tried everything, but you won't give up. In my world, only you make me do for love what I would not do. My friends wonder what is wrong with me, but I'm in the days from your love, you see. I came back to let you know. a thing for you, and I can't let go. But then I only want the best is true. I can't believe the things I do for you. What you won't do for love. You tried everything, but you won't give up. In my world, only you made me do for love what I would not do. What you won't do for love. You tried everything, but you won't give up. In my world, only you make me do for love what I would not do. What you won't do, won't you do for love? You tried everything, but you won't give up. In my world, only you make me do for love what I would not do. Make me do for love what I would not do, yeah. Make me do for love what I would not do. Thank you guys so much. We hope that you enjoyed us, and y'all have a wonderful night.
You guys sound like you're having such a fantastic time out there. Are you enjoying dinner? All right. Well, please continue to eat. We're just going to get things started up here. Good evening again, and thank you so much for joining us tonight. It is truly an honor to be here and to spend the evening with you. I hope you're enjoying your dinner, and Carmisha and Michael J., were they not fantastic? Let's give them a round of applause. To kick off the evening tonight, I would like to introduce Kim Lewis, CEO of Project XYZ, WEDC Foundation Board Member, 2016 honoree, and the chair of tonight's Women Honoring Women event.
Thank you, Marie. I am honored to serve as this year's chair of the Women Honoring Women event. I'm a board member of the WEDC Foundation, and it's my honor to welcome you here tonight. In 2016, the year I accepted the honoree position, I knew little about the foundation, although I had attended the event before, but it wasn't until I had that aha moment when I found out what the WEDC Foundation was truly about and the impact it is having on women in our community. I eventually joined the board and then accepted the role as the Women Honoring Women Chair because of the goals and missions of the WEDC Foundation are in the attributes that you won't find in many organizations. Not only do they work daily to make an empowerment happen, but we strive to change the lives, one scholar at a time. We have the privilege tonight of honoring some extraordinary women that are not often recognized because they're busy doing the work here in our community. You will hear from them soon, but I'd like to begin by first recognizing our presenting sponsor for 9 consecutive years. She's a 2012 honoree, a trailblazer herself, Ms. Kathy Stender of Woody Anderson Ford. We greatly value Woody Anderson Ford's commitment to the community and your partnerships with the Women Honoring Women Foundation, the WEDC Foundation. Please turn your attention to the screen as we hear from the women of Ford Motor Company.
Ford has provided like the ultimate support in terms of career growth. The freedom and the flexibility that Ford provides me in my new motherhood is critical to work-life balance. I have great support from my leadership and my entire team.
Being the subject matter expert in diversity, equity, and inclusion, and being able to have impact both globally and locally has allowed me to really gain some awareness and knowledge that I probably would have never had I not been supported by both leaders and peers in helping me develop as an employee at Ford.
I spent about 14 years in engineering, and to move from engineering into the HR learning and development world was the ideal opportunity. Helping people really find their passion and transform the professional development and the skills of every single employee in the company. Globally, to be able to have that opportunity was just mind-blowing to me, and I absolutely love it.
I was tapped on the shoulder to take this very important role as the Racial Equity Director to try to identify all of the inequities that we see inside of Ford Motor Company, remove those barriers to success, support the upskilling of our teams, whether they're employees and or leaders. There's nothing like that feeling, being able to actually bring your passion externally into what you do at work every day.
My journey started with Ford when I was a high school intern. I was able to work at Ford's research labs. It was at that moment that I decided that this was going to be my dream job, pursue a career in engineering. And since then, it's been a great journey, a lot of different opportunities, and I've gotten so many different skills. It's been a real exciting ride.
Being comfortable with being the only woman in the room is an important skill in product development. But I've never found in my experience that that was a problem or that my voice wasn't heard. It requires being curious and putting an effort in to learn new technologies and skills. Ford offered me those opportunities.
I hired into as a Ford College graduate, or FCG. I was able to rotate in the production environment as well as program management at Ford. Today, I'm a process re-engineering manager. I would say to a person of color considering Ford that the leadership here is really invested in your success. People trusted me to deliver and have helped me and coached me along the way.
I chose Ford Credit because I really aligned with their cultural values. I've really felt that I can look up to other women in Ford as well. Those women in Ford all have leadership positions, and I feel like I can really create an impact where I'm at now, and I have an opportunity to grow in the future.
There are multiple reasons why I chose Ford. The community, the purpose, and the pride that I now share. One of the things I love the most is every month we do a town hall with Jim Farley and Bill Ford. And just the way that it's conducted, besides keeping us in the loop and making us feel like we're really, in the know, I kind of feel like I'm friends with them, even though I've never met them.
Employee resource groups at Ford, including Women of Ford, allow women and other groups to bring themselves to work. It provides an opportunity to give us a voice, to talk about things that are important to us personally and professionally in both the business and the work culture, and develop what it is that we want to be as a company.
For me, a big part of being a female leader at Ford is really listening to what our employees with disabilities need, and for Ford Motor Company to be the employer of choice for people with disabilities. They're always looking for new ways to support their employees. I think Ford Motor Company is amazing because you can have a million careers without ever leaving the company.
I joined the Ford College graduate program. All my rotations have been very unique. Having that chance to meet people who you otherwise wouldn't be able to if you were in a set specific role. Really what set Ford apart was the people themselves and really being a positive force for early career employees like myself.
What really brought me to work here is the wide breadth of opportunities available. It's really allowed me to shape my career. Diversity and inclusion here at Ford is the real deal, and that expands to women. You see women in positions of power, you see women in management, and we've built a culture that is very empowering and comfortable to work in, and there's just room to grow.
We are Ford.
Please help me welcome to the stage Kathy Stender, the owner of Woody Anderson Ford.
Good evening, everyone. It's such a pleasure and a privilege to be here. As I look around the room, I see lots of friends. I mentioned earlier, it's like being with kindred spirits. It's like coming home, because we all share a passion for uplifting and encouraging women in our families to be the best they can be. But most of all, let me just begin by saying we're humbled. We're honored to have the privilege to work alongside bright, innovative leaders such as Kim Lewis and Jennifer Linton, the leaders of WEDC Foundation, and as well as the WEDC Foundation. It takes a lot of work to put this event on. I watched it this afternoon and I was thinking, gosh, I hope I can have the courage to keep my business running with the same amount of energy that these folks do, because it was dark and we had no electricity in here, but they were like, we have this. So, but anyway, I'm Kathy Stender, and I just want to say that thanks to so many people in my life, I was given an opportunity to have a dream, and it became a reality. And that reality was fulfilled by the support and endorsement of many of the people that are actually in the room tonight. I mean, many people supported me. So this support represented the seeds that planted to grow my confidence and ultimately gave me the belief that achieving my goals could become a reality. Once I saw that the WEDC Foundation provides the same experience by providing a comprehensive, personalized program that includes education, resources, a caring mentor, to support the scholar to recognize their value and their abilities and strengths. And through that process, an incredible thing happens. And we've all had that if we're blessed enough to know what it feels like, just to not know if you can quite get there. And that is a sense of courage and self-confidence. So I have to say that they have removed the barriers and they provided a personalized plan for each scholar, and it ensures individual empowerment. It's sustainable. This is the 10th year, isn't it, Kim? Or 9th year. I think it's the 9th year so that I've been involved. And so when you think about it, every year incrementally, they have improved this program to ensure that every barrier could be removed so that when a scholar comes in, they can say, okay, we're going to put you with a mentor that really can uplift you, help you understand your strengths and your value, and then direct you. And it's all over this room. So I just want you to know that I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for Kim. If you've read her book, if you haven't, you really need to. The Power of 10, is it? So definitely, I'm learning. I'm still in that learning phase. There's some things I can still learn from Kim. So it's fostered then incremental growth of the Scholars Program, and therefore it's sustainable. And we all talk about things that work today and don't work tomorrow, but it's sustainable. It's a sustainable program that's going to pay dividends in the lives of the scholars for years to come. They'll look back and go, oh my, So in closing, Woody Anderson Ford's success is largely influenced by the women of our company. We're honored to continue to support the Women's Honoring Women event and the WEDC Foundation in a much greater way because we see the investment that everyone has made in this room and the leadership. So thank you so very much, Kim, and the rest of the team.
And there are the women of Woody Anderson Ford. Many thanks to you, Kathy, and the Woody Anderson Ford team for your continued support. We're excited to grow in the collaboration with you for our next Scholar Workshop, which will be at Woody Anderson Ford, and we'll focus on self-care, which includes car care and self-defense. Next, help me welcome to the stage the WEDC Board President, Lauren Smith.
I have to turn the page. Good evening, my name is Lauren Smith and I serve as this year's WEDC Foundation Board President. On behalf of the board, I want to thank you so much for being here and for supporting our scholars. The work of the WEDC Foundation has always had a special place in my heart because the women in our program and the children that they support remind me of my own mother, who worked so hard over the course of 14 years to get her college degree. For most of that time, my mom raised me and my brother on not much more than love and pure grit. And it's that same grit and determination that we foster at the foundation. Our scholars come from a variety of backgrounds, but they are unified in their dream of an education. They combine intelligence, resilience, compassion, and good old-fashioned hard work to overcome obstacles on their path to a degree. And none of the work that we do with our scholars would be possible without the vision and support of our founding sponsor, the Women's Economic Development Council. For those of you not familiar with the WEDC, it is a diverse group of business owners, mid to senior level executives, and professionals working together, mentoring each other, and sharing resources to accelerate economic development. In 1998, nearly 25 years ago, the WEDC recognized a need in our community to provide flexible financial support, mentorship, and professional development to women who needed a hand up. From starting the foundation to continued support throughout the years, the WEDC invests in our community through each of the foundation scholars. If you are a past or present member of the WEDC, will you please stand up? Don't be shy. Great. These women These women, successful in their own right, choose to give of their time, money, and expertise to support the Foundation Scholars. Thank you, ladies. Will you join them? Will you count yourself as part of this mission? Will you too invest in the grit and hard work that our scholars demonstrate each and every day? Your investment, whether it is time or money, puts our scholars closer to graduation day and economic independence for them and future generations. There are envelopes on your table that you can use for checks or cash. I promise we are not picky. Or you can scan the QR code or text WHW 2022 to 53555. If time is the resource that you have to give, please complete the envelope and let us know that you are open to serving as a mentor. Envelopes will be collected from your table toward the end of the event. It takes all of us to make things better. On behalf of my 8-year-old self who sat outside a college classroom while my mom took her exams, I thank you for being here. I thank you for your investment in our scholars, and I hope that you have a fabulous evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Lauren, and also thank you to all the WEDC members here in the room tonight. And now, help me welcome to the stage the woman that works daily to impact the lives of women in our community, the Executive Director of the WEDC Foundation, Ms. Jennifer Linton.
Hi, everybody. Thank you all for being here tonight. Let me find my place in this. Hi, Kim. Hello. Thank you all for joining us this evening. I am honored to not only share the work of the WEDC Foundation with you all, but to also experience alongside each of you, especially our 25 current scholars, the inspiration that this event provides. To give you a better idea of the importance of the WEDC Foundation, although I think we've had some wonderful women already share, I would like to direct your attention to the screen, and we will hear about the Scholar Program.
We envision a world where all women, where women harness the power of education,
for the benefit of themselves,
and future generations.
We envision a world where all women harness the power of education for the benefit of themselves and the future of generations.
Before WEDC, I was a shy, kind of lacking in confidence young girl, and through the empowerment, I was able to shine and be more confident.
My greatest takeaway from my experience with the WEDC Foundation is to surround myself with powerful women.
It has impacted my life a lot as far as the support of other women, the support of emotional, mental, and financial. With being a single mother and having a 4-year-old, the WEDC Foundation has impacted my life in such a wonderful way. And what I would say to someone who is discouraged or scared or has any reserves about WEDC Foundation, I would tell them do not hesitate, because it is the best program that you can be in. You are surrounded with so many empowering women that it makes you want to keep going forward.
Empowering women.
Empowering women.
Empowering women.
1 degree at a time.
1 degree at a time.
Empowering women.
1 degree at a time.
Empowering women 1 degree at a time.
So if you didn't catch it, the WEDC Foundation empowers women 1 degree at a time. We support the collegiate women in our community through a multi-benefit program until they graduate with their associate's or undergraduate degree. What draws most of our scholars initially is the Flexible Financial Assistance, or FFA, which are funds awarded directly to the scholars each spring and fall semester to use wherever they need it most. We all know life can throw a lot at us, so we assist our scholars financially so that they can stay focused on school. Those of you that joined us here last year may remember that we increased the FFA from $1,500 to $2,000 a semester beginning in January of this year. Thank you. Yes, a lot of hard work. With that increase, combined with the scholarships funded since inception, the WEDC Foundation has provided $662,000 in scholarship funds to date.
Beyond the FFA, the Foundation provides professional and personal development, assisting scholars as they navigate through the school year and beyond. Throughout their time in the program, scholars participate in workshops that provide them with tools and skills to be confident, valued employees, and even our future leaders. In addition, they have the opportunity to attend celebrations and special events like the one here tonight. They can put their skills into action by connecting and establishing a relationship with professional women and a few men.
We're glad you're here tonight, men.
Yeah, thank you.
Finally, the Scholar Program provides one-on-one mentoring, matching scholars to professional women, most often in their chosen career path, for encouragement and accountability. This part of the program provides scholars someone to lean on and celebrate with throughout their journey and is often the most impactful. It's a relationship that they can carry with them through graduation and beyond.
The WEDC Foundation Scholar Program is more than just a program. It's a community of women who support, encourage, and challenge one another to become the best version of themselves, who they truly are meant to be. To give further insight into this value of the WEDC Foundation, let's hear from one of our mentor scholar pairs now.
I became involved in the WEDC Foundation probably about 4 years ago when I attended my first Women Honoring Women. And this is when I truly saw what WEDC Foundation was doing for women in our community. So WEDC Foundation is providing scholarships and professional growth for women from age 19 has been all the way to 50. And so to be able to be a part of that and be a mentor for a program that is touching multi-generations of women and doing for them something that they didn't have an opportunity to do before has been amazing.
My name is Brianna Hawkins. I go to the University of Alabama in Huntsville, and I'm majoring in computer science. So UAH sends out emails every now and then for different scholarship opportunities, and the WEDC Foundation was just one of them offered that I met all the requirements for. So next thing I knew, I had an interview with Miss Jennifer, and then I was at a horse ranch for the first workshop.
The way that I first met Brianna was when we were matched. We had several phone conversations. So we already had a relationship before our first in-person meeting. We met for lunch at a wonderful restaurant right here in Huntsville. And when I walked in, it appeared to me that she'd already been there for 15 minutes very early, dressed in her professional best. She had a notepad, pen. She was more ready for me than I was for her.
Having Peggy Lee as a mentor has been amazing because being the powerhouse that she is has taught me so much, and she's been such a benefit. She just truly is a cheerleader for me. She encourages me. It's really easy in life to compare myself to the other students around me who seem super intelligent and like super successful in life, and it's easy to wonder if I'm going to be successful too with all these amazing people. But Peggy Lee just constantly encourages me, puts me in situations to meet people, to make connections, to network, and to learn how to be in the workforce instead of just through school.
As a mentor, I'm not only able to impart some of the lessons that I've learned in growing up in industry to my mentee, but I've also learned from my mentee, and that has kept me on my toes in terms of what the generation that's coming after me needs, wants, and is looking for when they step into the professional arena.
The sponsorship with the WEDC Foundation has been incredibly beneficial to me and then to so many other girls in the program. I remember going to different workshops where we received the scholarship funds for the semester and just people having tears of joy and just and shouts of just thankfulness. So you can just see how impactful it is on so many people, that it affects their lives, their families' lives, and just allows the future generations to have an opportunity for success.
So I kind of feel like Brianna and I should have probably skipped across the stage in order to kind of seal the deal on that. And just so you know, they did not pair us together because I was the tallest and she was the shortest. It just worked out that way. So good evening. Brianna and I were actually paired together because we both share a passion for the STEM field. And I got to tell you, anytime I have an opportunity to meet women of any age that are interested in STEM or are already in STEM, it's inspiring because historically speaking, we've been the gender minority. But WEDC Foundation does so much more than just match a professional mentee with a student, a professional mentor with a student mentee. The WEDC Foundation uses the mentorship experience as a catalyst for growth. And what they do through this growth is they ensure that women are experiencing and getting an opportunity to grow in all aspects, be that financial responsibility, interview skills, etiquette, how do I set personal goals, how do I set professional goals. But it's even more than that, because then we share a bond and a relationship and a friendship over those 10 months that is priceless. And I have to tell you that it's a life-changing experience, not just for the mentees, but also for the mentors. And you can't put a price tag on that.
Starting in the WEDC Foundation program last fall was very nerve-wracking, as I didn't know anyone in the program yet. I was very shy, very hesitant to start conversations, and I really just stayed in my own little bubble. Then I was paired with Peggy Lee as my mentor, and anyone who knows Peggy Lee knows being shy is not an option. So this mentorship with Peggy Lee has been like nothing else I've ever experienced. In school, we're told what the real world is like and what it takes to be successful, but in the time I've spent with Peggy Lee has allowed me to not only hear about real-world success, but to see it for myself. She's invited me to meetings and luncheons, and there I've been able to put the lessons I've learned at WEDC Foundation workshops into action. She's been such an inspiration in the way she conducts herself, her determination to overcome any challenge or obstacle. She has such an energy about her that you just believe you can do whatever you want to. But enough about Peggy Lee. This achieve anything mentality is really the backbone of the WEDC Foundation program. As I mentioned in the video, it's really easy to look around and compare myself to others, especially in the STEM field where there are not many other women, and oftentimes I feel underqualified and less than. But this program, through the mentors, through the workshops, and through other scholars, each who are facing their own battles and who are choosing to persevere through the challenges, this program is not a place to compare and feel less than, but even among these amazing women, we cheer each other on. The WEDC Foundation program truly is a family. With only 25 scholars in the program at a time, we can be more personal with one another, and we feel like people really care about us as they invest in our growth and success. So while I started as a quiet and shy girl, the WEDC Foundation program has helped me to grow and to blossom into a woman ready to take on the workforce. I actually graduate this December, and I feel prepared for life after graduation, and I'm confident I'll always have a support system behind me along the way.
Brianna? So just in case you guys had any hesitation whatsoever, we will all be working for Brianna in a few years. And Brianna, you have a support system like you wouldn't believe. I'm so amazingly proud of you. And you are doing great things, and you are a mentee right now. But in a few years, this young lady is going to be a mentor. She will be standing here continuing to break barriers for so many, and continuing to do amazing things for the Wonder Women that are out there in Huntsville. And you can't put anything on that other than it's priceless. So I hope you guys enjoy the night and you continue to talk to the other women that are being honored tonight and the mentees, because you really will get a sense of what this program is doing for this town. It's amazing. Thank you.
One more thing. We hope you'll make that investment tonight. So if you will take out your phone and scan the QR code on the envelope or text WHW2022 to the number on the screen, 53555, you can see a breakdown of the way your support helps, from the academic bonuses to workshop tools, the fantastic flexible financial assistance, and of course the important scholar mentor chats. It all provides me and the women around us with the support we need to see our schooling through. So thank you so much for your support. Thank you for listening.
I'm going to give Brianna some kudos. She makes sure she got that in there. Thank you, Brianna and Peggy Lee, for those inspiring words and for sharing your story with us. The work of the volunteer mentors goes further than you can measure. Peggy Lee stood on this stage just last year as one of our Women Honor Women honorees. And we all know how busy she is, but she still finds time to make an impact with one that you just heard. So many of our mentors are just like that. It takes intention and a little time to make a big difference in a woman's life.
The WEDC Foundation relies heavily on the Women Honoring Women event for our annual funding, so we greatly appreciate you taking the time to give. But as women, we also value the message and the inspiration that this event provides for a demographic that doesn't always get the accolades they deserve. For 21 years, this fundraising event has given our community a place to highlight the remarkable women within it, while supporting and showing women like Brianna and the 200 scholars of past and present that we can do great things alone, but we can do amazing things when we stand together and we lift each other up. As Brianna and Peggy Lee described, the WEDC Foundation mission truly surrounds our scholars' dreams, letting nothing stand in their way. Across North Alabama, there are companies who come alongside the foundation to support our mentors and scholars throughout their journey. Kim, let's share a few more of the companies that make this evening and the continuation of our mission a reality.
I can do that. I want to thank our platinum sponsors, Deloitte. They are committed to enriching the Huntsville community through meaningful impact and lasting value, especially through our partnerships and investment to our local higher learning institutions.
We also want to thank our 3 diamond sponsors, all headquartered here in Huntsville. Five Stones Research Corporation is a Native American women-owned small business focusing on engineering, IT, and program management. S3, also a woman-owned company, is intersecting innovation and professionalism through their focus on diverse technical solutions. And Twickenham Advisors, focused on holistic financial planning for the pursuit of lifelong dreams for the individual and our community. Thank you, Diamond sponsors.
Now, to guide us into the honorary portion of the evening, I want to bring back to the stage our MC. We've had the honor to partner with Way 31 for the last 7 years, and the importance that this news station's put on supporting our community is noteworthy, and we are pleased to have Marie Waxel expertise here on the stage tonight. We're thrilled to call her a WEDC Foundation friend and hopefully a potential mentor. Please welcome back to the stage, Marie Waxel.
Thank you, Kim. Are you guys still having a good time? Are you still awake out there? I'm honored to share with you and highlight the 2022 honorees. At Way 31, we've been highlighting them and the WEDC Foundation throughout the day. You can find all of our coverage online after tonight's event. We also appreciate Suzanne Sullivan. Suzanne, just throw your hand up in the air. We want to single you out for her time interviewing these amazing honorees and these amazing women over the last few months. Okay, now for the fun stuff, right? Let's meet our first honoree this evening. This honoree knows all too well what it's like to pivot and adjust to what life throws at you. She's a firm believer in taking what you've learned in the past and applying it to what you do in the present. From a background in electrical engineering and mathematics to philanthropy and hospitality, Beth Boyer always embraces her next challenge with poise and grace. This proud new grandmother helps open the doors and change lives for others both through her nonprofit Hatch and beyond.
Beth, you said just a few minutes ago that you are uniquely qualified to be here at Huntsville Country Club. Why don't you just tell us a little bit about how you got here?
Sure. I have done a large variety of jobs. I worked on color printers, I worked on business type reports, and just a little bit of that knowledge, I guess, soaked in all the time. And people don't understand how difficult it is to run. I mean, any business is hard, but at a country club, you're running about 5 businesses at once, and there's a lot to know and understand.
You didn't take a straight path to get here. Tell me a little bit about what that looks like.
Sure, and I think it's important in life to know that there aren't going to be straight paths anywhere that you go, and you just have to be open to whatever opportunities are presented to you. So I have a degree in electrical engineering, and that was a great base to be able to learn new things. And then I learned a lot of business just doing programming on business reports, and I soaked a lot of that in, and now I'm using that to be able to do the business side of running a country club. So you just have to be open to whatever life is going to bring you next.
Sounds like you probably have a lot of confidence and courage. Where did that come from?
I think that the 12-year-old me would disagree with that statement, but I think that life experiences brings you confidence. When you successfully are able to handle one thing, then you go and just try the next thing. I was raised in a household where there were no limits, not for anyone, and especially not for women. So I was encouraged to try absolutely everything, and I have, and it's all been fun and productive.
How do you think mentoring and the community is beneficial to a scholar?
I think that you need to be able to see what your city has to offer you. One of the main things that we've noticed in our Hatch program, we have these kids that come to us for 6 weeks at a time and stay for an externship. And we take them on a field trip on Thursdays to take them around town and see the different areas around town. And it's just amazing how their eyes open up to the possibilities that this city has to offer that they just didn't know existed before. So I think it's important. Exposure is important, knowledge is important, and whatever we can bring to any of these scholars that they might not have had before is important.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Beth Boyer.
I see her hands. When I look down at the end of my arms, I see my mother's hands, and I know for sure that she had a part in making me the woman I am today. But if I'm asked who my greatest influence is, there is no doubt that is my daddy. From as early as I can remember, he believed in me. This man trusted me with our family's finances when I was 12 years old. When you are lucky enough to have someone believe in you that much, you start to believe it too. It is for that reason that I am so thrilled to help celebrate a foundation that supports and believes in capable young women. It is an unbelievable honor to be chosen to speak with you tonight. Kim Lewis described this year's honorees as a group of women who aren't often recognized because we're too busy doing the work. That is the highest form of praise I could hope to receive. And to my fellow honorees, great job. You all deserve this night. And more importantly, to the scholars who are here tonight, congratulations. I couldn't be more excited to celebrate the steps you are taking in building your own future. So the real question is this, and I get asked this all the time: how does an electrical engineer from Vanderbilt end up as general manager of Huntsville Country Club? Believe me, I ask myself the same question still. What I've learned on the journey is this: whatever you think life might look like, whatever plans you've made for yourself, hold on and get ready for the ride. The only constant in life is change, and the only thing that you have control over is you. If you ever want to see what it's like to not have control of your own circumstances, you should try being a military wife. You learn pretty fast that the needs of the Navy far outweigh whatever plans you have. But by being creative, I was able to hold a job through multiple moves and the births of my 3 beautiful children. That's right, I worked remotely from home long before it was cool and with way less technology than we have today. And in many ways, I had it all. I had a job I could do whenever, and I had ample time to spend raising my kids, but y'all, it was hard. So I made the daring choice to leave a career behind and raise my kids, a choice I will never, ever regret. So what does an easily bored person do with hours in the day and years ahead of her? I ran a few marathons, chaired some school fundraisers. I helped build the Veterans Memorial downtown, basically saying yes to anything I felt would improve the world around me. Because here's the thing: adventures happen when you say yes to opportunities. Or as I like to say, you too can run a golf course. The first time I heard about this next chapter of my life was around July of 2014. I heard a rumor that my father and a few other members had purchased the club. I figured I was safe because if he wanted me to run it, surely he would have said something by now. By November, Dad was asking me to just go by and help. So I swung by, checked on the situation, and found what can generously be described as complete and utter chaos. I mean, the heat in the building wasn't even on. The young girl at the front desk was so overwhelmed she could hardly make it through the day, much less deal with me. So when I gently asked her what I could do to help, she left. And I don't mean she left for lunch, I mean she was gone. And then the beer guy needed a check, and then somebody didn't show up for work, and everybody kept coming to me and asking me what we should do about it. Holy cow, I don't know, I just got here. So I started putting out fires and planting grass and hiring some very important people and planting more grass. And hard work has paid off, and 8 short years later, our little corner of the world has grown from 150 members to 525 members with a waiting list. But here's the thing, guys. I am not a natural-born leader. My son even bought me a little sign to keep in my office that says, "I'm not bossy, I'm the boss," as a reminder to me that I was, in fact, in charge. But somehow, every experience I had had up until this point had given me the confidence I needed to succeed in this job. And as I grew the business and started putting our amazing team together, I realized that finding and hiring the right people is the hardest job that I had, a job that's been made even worse the last few years. I literally had one lady come in for a job interview in her pajamas. You know, the funny thing is I hired her. There's 1,000 stories like this, but the day that I found a young toddler tied to a chair so that his grandmother could continue to work was the day I truly began to recognize the barriers that people have to succeeding in a job. In Huntsville, getting a job is easy, but keeping that job is tough. So the idea of Hatch was born, an 8-week program to teach life skills through knife skills. We started teaching class in August of 2021, and Hatch's mission to use culinary and hospitality training to create stability in young people's lives has already begun transforming 28 individuals and the communities that they touch. And we hope that one day soon, one of our Hatch graduates will become a WEDC Foundation scholar and use her Hatch learned skills as a stepping stone to further her education. So thank you to all of you in the room who have supported this event and the mission of the foundation. A few more thank yous to my husband of 32 years. Happy anniversary, Lynn. Thank you. Thank you for embracing my crazy and reserving for only those most appropriate times to say I told you so. And to my 3 amazing kids, Alex, Kara, Ned, thank you for being so easy to raise and for making your dad and I look so smart. And thank you to my bonus daughter, Rebecca, for the blessing that she is, and also for giving me my granddaughter, Iris. And if you haven't tried grandparenting yet, I highly recommend it. Thank you to my dad, Bill Stender, Pop, for being my forever cheerleader. And to his beautiful wife, Kathy, who has become a welcome friend on this journey. To quickly conclude, if I could distill my life experience into one simple piece of advice, it would be this, and I have this on the wall of my office so that everybody knows how important this is to me. Bloom where you are planted. Look for the joy and the life lesson in every situation. Spend time each day being grateful for where you are while calmly embracing change, because saying yes often leads to the funnest adventures. Thank you. Don't leave, Beth. Come back up.
Thank you, Beth, and congratulations. Our next honoree this evening is the epitome of paying it forward. Spreading love, kindness, and support wherever she goes. Trusting that you, too, will help someone in need. If you need a helping hand, a shoulder to lean on, LaFrida Jordan has likely been there for you. She's a force behind the scenes, man, with more than 30 years of experience in government service from local, state, and federal levels. She's been a stronghold in the Huntsville community for years, and we're so glad Senator Shelby asked her to take a chance on Huntsville and run his local office. She embraced our community, and I tell you what, our community isn't letting go.
So your career began at Senator Shelby's office. Tell me a little bit how you got involved with that.
Yes, I started my career with U.S. Senator Richard Shelby, worked for him for 26 years. Started out in Montgomery, Alabama, and Senator Shelby asked me to move to North Alabama to run the North Alabama office.
And now you're at UAH. How did you make the leap?
Well, I think just knowing that education is always important and having the opportunity to come back and mentor young ladies and be a part of just trying to change the trajectory of a young person's life. And I'm happy to be here and happy to do that.
Education is so important to the WDC Foundation and the scholars. Why do you think that gives them a leg up, and how the mentoring helps that as well?
For me, I know my parents instilled the value and the power of education. When you have those things, doors always open. So I think just trying to instill that in our mentees, that with your education, you can go anywhere. And then once you receive that education, I always try to tell a mentee, always give back. Someone created the opportunity for you. They created the opportunity for me. So you always give back what someone has given to you.
Now, you may not know this, but several people have named you as their mentor. You have influenced people's lives, even one of our other honorees. How does that make you feel?
I'm honored to know that someone feels that I have been a mentor to them. You know, what you do every day is always a reflection on you, and so I always just try to be positive and carry myself in a manner that someone hopefully would want to emulate. Treat a person with respect, dignity, and kindness. That's all anybody wants. So I'm a firm believer in that, and when you treat a person that way, everything else will fall into place.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Lafrida Jordan.
Good evening. I'm truly humbled to be recognized and to receive this honor. I'm also thrilled to be acknowledged with the other amazing and outstanding honorees this evening. In Luke 12:48, it states, "To whom much is given, much is required. To whom much is given, much is required." I'm sure you've heard or read this verse before, so it is incumbent on all of us to be a blessing to others. Many of us have been blessed with so many resources, talents, knowledge, and time. We should be readily willing to share these gifts with others. I grew up in Montgomery, Alabama, the birthplace of the Civil Rights Movement. As a matter of fact, I was born on the day Dr. Martin Luther King marched from Selma to Montgomery and camped out at St. Jude Hospital. On that day, my father wanted to name me Freedom, but my very sweet and wise mother persuaded him to name me Lafrida with the word free spelled in it. My parents could have been tainted or discouraged by the many struggles they encountered during those times, but they were not. My sisters and I were raised in a very loving and caring household. My parents always instilled the importance of education, being kind to others, and being a service to our community. They did not talk the talk, but you saw them in action with their daughters in tow. Thanks to my parents for laying a wonderful foundation in our home. That foundation and the values they laid became the groundwork I live by daily. My father is no longer with us, but I would like to acknowledge my mom, who's here this evening, my sisters, my very dear friend Stanley, and my other sister who is not here tonight but who is viewing this event from home. A heartfelt thank you for your support. My parents prepared me to be ready for college and my career. My political science major and degree and becoming senior class president at Spelman College in Atlanta, Georgia, prepared me with self-confidence and critical thinking skills, which helped me to excel in my career. Namely, working for U.S. Senator Richard Shelby provided me many years of knowledge and guidance. From this opportunity, I am grateful to have learned from the senior senator of Alabama. If you've spent any time with Senator Shelby, you know he's full of insight and a wealth of knowledge. A nugget of wisdom that Senator Shelby shared is educate yourself. Take advantage of every training, workshop, and professional development opportunity. Because when you educate yourself, You are empowering yourself with knowledge that no one can ever take from you. Remember, knowledge is power. Most importantly, I would like to thank the WEDC Foundation for empowering women in North Alabama to achieve their dreams. The WED Foundation offers educational scholarships, leadership development, mentoring, and a sisterhood of networking and support. To all the WEDC Foundation supporters, we thank you. To the mentors, we especially thank you for giving back to the scholars. So scholars, I tell you, soak it all in. Ask questions, learn, be involved in the future, give back, and be a part of societal growth and improvement. Let me emphasize, the opportunity to receive the gift of education from the WEDC Foundation will change your future. To my UH family, thank you for all of your support and being here tonight. I enjoy every day working with each of you and our students on campus. Finally, I would like to thank my Huntsville Airport family, my First Missionary Baptist Church family, the Links Incorporated, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority, and the members of the Alabama International Forum for all being here tonight to support me. Thank you. In closing, I challenge everyone to do a little bit more to help others. I know we're all overworked, a bit tired, but think about the person who might need your help. Just know that small deed you might do is the one thing that could impact or change someone's life. Again, thank you all very much for this recognition, and I'm very appreciative of this honor. Thank you.
Before our next honorees, I want to take a moment to thank the Sapphire sponsors, All Points Logistics, Ohm Foundation, Mission Multiplier, Project XYZ, Signalink, and the Company You Keep for your generous support of tonight's event. Each company's involvement means this annual event can provide not only the funding for the foundation, but also the inspiration and message of women's empowerment to our scholars and to you, our guests.
To continue the inspiration tonight, let's meet our next honoree. This honoree is a Huntsville-Madison native. She's had the privilege of watching our community grow and has played a key role in that growth through her work as CEO of Signalink. Her love for the community hasn't always been technical. Her background in nursing gives her the compassion to help others succeed. And she knows what it means to put service before self through her time in the Army National Guard. Alice Lessman credits the support and mentorship from other women right here in our community who've helped encourage her to stand tall and chase your dreams.
When I did become CEO, I will say I actually grieved staying home, if that makes any sense. You know, it was hard to step away from your work. When I was a nurse practitioner, it was very hard, but then it was hard when I went back, in the office all the time and away from my kids. And so that was kind of a process too for the kids and myself, but I think it was good because then they saw that a mom can be here, she can work too, and we all have made it work. And also when I became CEO, I had women that came up to me and just kind of take me under their wing. I think that may be another interesting thing about Huntsville is people are very friendly and businesses are friendly with each other. And I will say the women in this community have really helped me and mentored me. And I think without their support, I wouldn't be here still.
What I'm hearing a little bit is community is important to you. Your family unit as a community, your community of role models are important to you and are beneficial for you in your success. And how do you think that they can help like our scholars?
Our company slogan, for instance, people, customers, community. We take care of our people. We take care of our customers, and we take care of our community. That in turn allows you to take care of your community who also takes care of you. So for our scholars, I think because of the community, you have a good community, they're gonna help take care of the, raising funds and mentoring and things like that they need. So I feel like it's kind of a circle. If you take care of people, they'll take care of you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Alice Lessman.
Good evening, everyone. What an incredible honor to be recognized among such a dynamic group of women. Thank you to the WEDC Foundation for creating this opportunity and for your work in changing the lives of so many women. And thank you to the audience for your support of this event. I'm blessed to have my husband, Steve, here with me tonight, who for the last 20 years has been my greatest encourager and supporter. I'm also blessed to have the support of my two children. My daughter, Leah, is at military prep school. We dropped her off about 2 weeks ago, but I have my son, Ben, here with me tonight, along with my mother-in-law, Judy, and some dear friends. I'd like to give a shout out to my SignalLink family. You guys always have my back when and wherever I need it. And to the scholars, I understand you guys are scattered throughout the audience tonight. Scholars, we celebrate you, and I hope that you find something in my words that helps you keep moving forward. Now, there's a little saying that goes, God doesn't call the qualified, He qualifies the called. And when I think about my life, I know there's got to be some truth in that. The fact that I'm standing up here means that at least two people, thank you both for nominating me, see my life worthy of celebration. And for that, I'm thankful, because I didn't always see myself in that way. In fact, in some of the most pivotal times of my life, I felt unqualified. For instance, I remember when I was a nurse and I was in my early 20s, I was approached to be the charge nurse, and I immediately dismissed it and said, there's no way I can do that. Nobody's going to listen to me. And then my time in the military, I was selected to go to OCS, Officer Candidate School, and I thought, for sure, they had me mixed up with some other Alice. And then I was chosen to be the commander, and I just remember thinking over and over, why me? And believe it or not, I was doubtful and just a bit scared when I became CEO of our company. And I remember in some of these instances, some of the people laughed at me being in a leadership position. And sadly, I laughed with them. Those things were scary to me, and I didn't want to do it. But today, I know for certain that there is power in walking through your fear. So if you're like me and you've ever been doubtful or felt unqualified, here's at least 5 things that I've learned to do that I'd like to share with you. Number 1, do your best. Put your all into everything you do and do it well. People will have no choice but to notice you, and soon you're going to find yourself at the next level. Number 2, Believe in yourself. Don't let anyone, not even yourself, tell you what you can or can't do. You can do whatever you want, but you have to believe in yourself first. Number 3, choose your attitude. Your attitude shapes the way you perceive the world and the way the world perceives you. Now, we've all had our share of hard times and heartaches, highs and lows. Lord knows I've had mine. And I think we can all agree that it's those low, dark times that we pull ourselves out of. Those eventually are the greatest impact for us. Number 4, find good people. You are the sum with whom you surround yourself with. And I can look across this room and I see all my friends and mentors and family, my people, and I know that I stand on this stage because of them. So find the people who want to support you and want to help you, and then you in turn do the same for others. Lastly, number 5, always be prepared. They say luck happens when preparation meets opportunity. And no matter what you think at any given moment, I truly believe that everything that has happened and will happen in your lifetime is God preparing you for your greatest opportunities. Remember, God doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies the called. And scholars, you have been called. So your job is to do your very best with what you have right here at this exact moment. And when your opportunity knocks, you will be ready. Thank you.
Thank you, Alice. So this next honoree, she knows a thing or two about a nice glass of wine, although that wasn't always the case. She knows what it's like to fight for your dreams and never give up. A woman who wasn't afraid to reinvent herself or her career as life evolved. She exudes confidence and delights in building and pulling it out of others. Stephanie Kennedy Mell dove headfirst into our community, filling our glasses with compassion and hope. And we're so glad she did, as she encourages others to enjoy the journey and respect the process wherever life leads you.
I know you didn't originally start in the restaurant business. Tell me a little bit about your background and how you got here.
So that is true. I actually have never worked a day in a restaurant prior to owning restaurants. And so front of house and service is my husband's area of expertise. I bring more of the business acumen. I worked in the fashion industry for 20 years. I worked in New York and LA, and so I bring more of the back of house structure, process.
We talked earlier about mentorship, and that's very important to you. Tell me about your mentor.
Mentorship, I think, is so important, and just giving young women the confidence, because I think confidence is 90% of it. And so once you have the confidence in what is your idea, do I have a plan, can I make it work, you need to truly believe that before any of the rest happens. And you could be the most talented, most accomplished, but if you don't believe in yourself, that's where your ground's gonna crumble.
If you had a chance to sit down with our scholars, what kind of advice would you give them?
I think it's kind of going back to just believe in yourself. I'm a firm believer that if you can dream it and you truly believe it, you can achieve it. And if you truly follow that path, doors open up, things happen. But I say that with bated breath because it is hard work. And you have to know going in, it's hard work.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Stephanie Kennedy Mell.
First, I want to say that it is an honor to be here tonight with these amazing women. I am so lucky to have been surrounded by strong, intelligent, and giving women in this community, and I want to thank those that have been so kind and so welcome to me on this journey. Kindness is the language which the deaf can hear and the blind can see, Mark Twain. I was not an A student in school, and in fact, I didn't do very well at all. I started school at a young age. My mother fought with the school to accept me into kindergarten at 4 years old, and not because I was special or super smart, mostly because I was the last of 4 kids and my mom wanted her alone time. I was not ready, and I was behind in all subjects for most of my education, and I was quickly diagnosed as learning disabled, a label that would stay with me throughout my entire education. I always knew I was smarter, and I was never pushed, and that was nice, and I stayed in this bubble and didn't really try to achieve more. I like to think I was just biding my time. I had lunch with a friend the other day, and she told me about a story about a flea. She said, when a flea is put in a jar with a lid, the flea can jump over 200 times their size. But it was found when a flea put in a jar will only jump as high enough so that its head will not hit or bump the lid of the jar. But when the lid was removed, when the opportunity existed for the flea to jump out of the jar, the flea had trained itself to only jump below the level of the lid, never leaving the jar. So although it had the opportunity to leave the confines of the jar, the flea had conditioned itself and stunted its potential and abilities to jump high enough to move beyond the jar. I now realize that I was being put in a jar. When I was 12, I joined an organization named Triangles, associated with the Freemasons. Triangles is a character-building, service-oriented sisterhood that builds a foundation for its members to develop the life skills of leadership, teamwork, confidence, and self-esteem. Members are given the opportunity to learn how to make their ideas a reality and help others around them. It required you to memorize passages, something I was told I would never be able to do. The organization trained you to put others before yourself with the ultimate goal to be beloved queen or president of the organization, voted in by your peers. I was beloved queen of Truth Triangle by the age of 17. I organized projects with many charitable organizations, designed and developed community events. I worked with the Shriners Hospital, visited kids, organized Christmas in July, and raised money to be able to purchase toys and games. And I remember one of the purchases. It was a quick add-on, a bunch of balls for younger kids to play with. And when we got there to hand out all the toys, I was proud. But then I saw one of the happiest little boys I had ever seen. He was maybe 5 years old. And he was running into the room, kicking this ball, so excited. And the first thing I noticed was he had no arms. But it was almost like he didn't know that. He was giggling, running, and kicking all the balls around. I was young, so I was stunned. And then I quickly realized no one put a lid on his jar. He doesn't know his limitations in this moment. I learned at a very early age gratitude and how lucky I am and what possibilities are open to me that this happy child may never had, and realized I wasn't using my full potential. I alone cannot change the world, but I can cast a stone across the waters to create many ripples, Mother Teresa. By 15 years old, I knew what I wanted to do in my future, and so I constructed a plan. But again, I was put in a jar. My guidance counselor told me I should think about another route. College was not for me. I told him I was planning to go to the Fashion Institute of Technology in Manhattan, the #1 fashion and art school in the United States at the time. Students came from France and Italy to go there, and it was very competitive. It took some time, but I convinced him to build my high school career around art and fashion, and by 11th grade, I was studying half my day in high school subjects and half in fashion design and merchandising in a technical program. And by the very next year, I was teaching the course side by side with my teacher to my classmates. When I applied for college, I applied only to FIT, but my counselor demanded that I apply to multiple schools, telling me that that school was for extremely talented artists. So to appease him, I did apply to other fashion schools around all across the country, and I was accepted to all of them. I also worked and played sports in high school, helping further develop my leadership and life skills, learning to work towards a greater good, a value that still guides me today. I graduated as a 4-year varsity student in track and field and received the Coach's Award and had my high school number retired at graduation. So remember, nobody knows you better than you, so don't let others dictate what you can achieve. By the time I was 30, I was working for one of the top manufacturers of women's clothing in the country. I launched Izod women's brand nationwide with the designer from Tommy Hilfiger and the president of Calvin Klein. I also helped implement one of the very first e-commerce sites in the United States, and life was fun. But was I making a difference? No, I had achieved what I set out to do, and now it was time to create a new plan and lift that lid further off my jar. So in 2011, my husband and I moved to Huntsville, Alabama. Thank you, Matt, for being on this crazy journey with me. In our first years here, I volunteered with many charities and programs around town, but thought we could be doing more. So in 2014, my husband and I launched our very first business, Church Street Wine Shop in downtown Huntsville. Upon its conception, I knew that this could be a conduit for truly starting to make a difference in our community. We employed so many amazing individuals. We support nonprofits and local artists. We created a wine club where like-minded individuals from all walks of life could come together and sit as a community and enjoy their similarities and their differences. We believe in rising tides lift all boats and fully embrace this by working with other small businesses. We believe in this community, and we challenge you to ask yourself, what legacy are you leaving behind? I am of the opinion that my life belongs to the whole community, and as long as I live, it is my privilege to do for it whatever I can. I want to be thoroughly used up when I die, for the harder I work, the more I live. George Bernard Shaw. I hope that I leave you tonight with enthusiasm for your passion, inspiration to achieve your goals, and the knowledge that you are not alone. We are a community of women helping women, and I leave you with this. Don't let anyone place a lid on your abilities. But if they do, lift your own lid. And remember, once you do what others say you can't, you will never pay attention to limitations again. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephanie, and congratulations.
Before our last two honorees, we also want to thank the majority of you sitting here in this room, the 41 wonderful gold sponsors who helped make this event a success. You've seen their logos in the event program and the slideshow, and we greatly appreciate your presence here this evening. Of those sponsors, we would like to highlight specifically the local colleges and universities who collaborate with the WEDC Foundation in support of our scholars: Alabama A&M, Athens State, Calhoun, Drake State, Oakwood, and UAH. These schools are educational partners that help to promote the Foundation Scholar Program to our students and their students. They identify potential scholars and even provide mentors. So thank you all for your continued collaboration and support.
If there's someone who embodies hard work, it's definitely our next honoree. She's the CEO of the, one of the most beautiful locations in Huntsville. While her for-profit experiences took her out of North Alabama, she's proof you can always move back home. Leslie Eklund has been giving back to the community ever since her return. Leading by example, she continues Butch Damson's belief of leave a place better than you found it. Huntsville is better with Leslie back home.
I went to Birmingham Southern and studied business administration. And honestly, until I started interviewing at the end of school, I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do with that. I knew I wanted possibly a buying career or to be in management with a large company. And then I just went for an interview. I didn't even know who the interview was with, and it ended up being Kmart Corporation. And I never really expected to stay there. I just thought it would be a good learning experience for maybe a year or two. And 28 years later and 12 different jobs, I wound up back in Huntsville, and I am a native of Huntsville. And again, went on an interview for the job here at Bird on the Mountain, never really expecting that this was where I would end up.
If you had the opportunity to sit down with some of our scholars, what kind of advice would you give them?
Work hard. Absolutely work hard. I think, especially starting out, you have to pay your dues. You have to put in the time. You have to be passionate about what you're doing. 1/3 of the people that you surround yourself with are behind you on the path, 1/3 are with you on the path, and 1/3 are ahead of you on the path. Then you have those opportunities to mentor and to be mentored. I think both are very important.
What kind of goals do you have for yourself?
I think one of the things that one of my mentors has taught me was always leave a place better than you found it. How important it is to work hard for a dream, to have a goal, but then once you know that you've done everything you can, then it's time to just step back and let things happen. Don't be impatient. And if it's meant to be, you just have to put your faith out there and know that it'll happen if it's meant to happen. And it's been hard for me to do that, but I have, and I've continued to grow in that area, and it's served me well.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Leslie Eklund.
I wouldn't be here tonight if it were not for the support of so many people in this room. Friends, my family, my Burritt family, and most importantly, my husband, who encourages and supports me in everything I do. And I share this honor with all of you who have inspired me. When I turned 60 a few years ago, I started looking back over the decades of my life, the people that have had the biggest influences, and the lessons learned that have shaped who I am today. Before my 20s, my biggest influences were my mother, father, grandparents, aunts, and uncles. In them, I saw amazing examples of hard work, dedication, and perseverance. My grandfather, with only a third-grade education, built a successful business. My mother went back to school to get her undergraduate degree and later a master's with honors while raising 2 small children. My aerospace engineer father worked into the wee hours of the night getting proposals ready. And an entrepreneur uncle built up a chain of Hickory Farm stores and hired me at age 13 to work in the warehouse packing gift boxes. That was actually legal in the 70s. I have my Social Security to prove it. But honestly, when I got that first paycheck, I got hooked on work after that. The key lessons from these years were first, work hard, be dedicated because it pays off. And second, you are responsible for your own success. From 20 to 40, I was building my career, and some of the influences in those years were not positive ones. There were very few women in my position in the early years, and I experienced harassment from some men and a lack of support from many women. In those days, it was very competitive. I learned valuable lessons, though, and would not change anything about those experiences. It's also during this time that I often traveled overseas and to large metropolitan areas for work. This greatly expanded my boundaries and gave me a great awareness and understanding of other cultures and opinions, and an appreciation of diversity. Key lessons in these years were, first, when someone else wins, it doesn't mean you lose. And second, never burn a bridge. From 40 to 60, my biggest influences have been the staff, volunteers, and all the amazing people that I've met in this community. many of whom are past recipients of this honor. Butch Dampson, who hired me, has been one of my biggest role models. She's taught me to have faith that if something is meant to be, do your absolute best to make it happen, and then you must let go and let God. Seeing her have this kind of faith has served me well. Doing inner work and practicing forgiveness has been a big part of the last few years of my life, and I highly recommend this life-changing effort. Key lessons from these recent years are, first, share your talents and skills with an open heart and don't expect to get anything in return. And second, life is short and just keeps getting shorter. You have to make every day count. And now I'll close with some of my favorite words from Marianne Williamson. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. You playing small does not serve the world. So scholars, go serve the world. And remember that the foundation and many of us in this room tonight are here to cheer you on and support you every step of the way. We believe you are powerful beyond measure.
Congratulations, Leslie. If you're going to grow, you're going to have to do things that put you out of your comfort zone, something our next honoree is all too familiar with. She serves as Deloitte's Huntsville leader, directly responsible for overseeing the company's expansion and presence here in North Alabama. Carrie Miller credits both her parents, who she loves dearly, especially her father, with having one of the greatest influences on her life. A woman who today isn't afraid to look you in the eye, give you a smile, and still tackle some of the hardest jobs against the best of the best across the DoD and civilian agencies.
I got started in consulting because of my dad. He was an extremely hard worker and role model, but more than that, he saw potential in me that I didn't yet see. He also encouraged me greatly to take risks. He's actually the one that forced me to move to Washington, D.C. for my first job, which was absolutely terrifying.
What did you learn during your time in D.C.?
So once I was in D.C., of course, I made a lot of great friends who helped me out. I was from a very small, rural, southern town, and so I tended to bring everyone coffee. I never asked for anyone. I said yes, ma'am, and no, sir, all the time. And they taught me differently. They taught me to ask for a seat at the table instead of sitting behind it. They taught me to treat everyone respectfully, but as a peer. And, you know, I like to think that that part of my career is where I sort of learned to have some combination that feels right of grit and grace, because I didn't want to let go of where I was from, but also needed to adapt to the circumstances.
So you talked about risk a little bit in your career. How important do you think it is to take risks?
It's tremendously important. It would be one of the hardest things to learn, I think. I mean, I told you that my dad literally forced me to take the first one, but I had a great time afterwards, and I feel that way about all the risks that I've taken after that. They haven't all worked out as well, of course, but those are the things, that discomfort, that pushing myself beyond the boundaries of what I already know how to do, is what generates growth. You know, stepping outside of that comfort zone, trying something new, and you know, importantly, using the resources you have. And I don't just mean your own skills and brain and heart, but acknowledging that it really takes a team. It takes a lot of people to convert risks into real opportunity.
What's some of the best advice you've ever been given?
I think the piece of advice that has to rise above everything and that I've gotten from different people along the way is the golden rule that you should treat everyone the way you want to be treated.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Carrie Miller.
Sit back, close your eyes, and think about the last time you were afraid, like really scared. When I consider that question, it's a close tie between right this very second and the last time I was on the precipice of a major change of some kind. That's what I want to talk to you about tonight. Doing something terrifying, something that will make you super uncomfortable. I want to talk to you about taking risks. It's something I'm terrible at, unqualified even to talk about. I hate scary movies, that's a pretty minor risk. Even things that put me on the edge of my seat are scary sometimes. My husband, my sweet, wonderful husband, recently invited me on a hot air balloon ride at sunrise with champagne and everything, and I flat refused. I had images of my 3 kids with little orphan Annie and Carol Channing binge drinking and singing show tunes in the background. Thank goodness my father-in-law was willing to put his life on the line. Why is risk-taking important? Have you taken one recently? Is there one staring you right in the face? Despite my hatred of them, all of the greatest things about my life came from taking risks. You heard about moving to the big city, but there are 100 other risky decisions that I've made that were even more rewarding than that one. Some of them I went into with my eyes wide open. For example, I married a man from New Jersey who is my polar opposite in every way, but we dated for a couple years before then, so I can't say I didn't know what I was getting into. The majority of the most rewarding ones, though, I quite literally jumped off a cliff without having prepared. I'm not sure I could have. Having children is that way. There is nothing that can prepare you for the day when a house guest looks you in the eyes and says, "Should your 6-year-old daughter have nunchucks in the foyer?" Moving to Huntsville was that way for me, too. Personally and professionally, I had no idea what I was getting into. It was one of the biggest risks I've ever taken. Our Center for Deloitte Insights has studied risk and concluded that a diet of pure risk aversion can lead to extinction. Furthermore, when we think about building consulting expertise, our studies show that the most effective way to learn something comes from unexpected moments, from things you can't plan for, from taking risks. And for those of you that have watched Ted Lasso and believe, think about the way Ted handles risks. His unconventional approaches, moving halfway around the world to coach a sport that he knows nothing about, sporting both a mustache and a sun visor simultaneously, being vulnerable at every turn, and perhaps most importantly, being 100% authentically himself. He earns a few inappropriate nicknames as a result, but in the end, he is richly rewarded. Ted's ending, which I won't ruin for those of you that haven't watched it yet, makes me think about the results of my own journey. If I hadn't moved to DC and then back to Huntsville, there are quite literally only a few people in this room which is full of my favorite people that I would even know, namely my family and a couple of college friends. I would not know my work family, my Deloitte family, each of whom have helped me in some incredibly meaningful ways on this journey. I would not know the community leaders in this room who have welcomed me, partnered with me, and challenged me to be a part of Huntsville. I would not know my friends, my book club, my workout pals, the neighbors and moms that keep me laughing on hilarious text threads and funny Instagram feeds all day long. I would not have the opportunity to meet those of you in this room I've not yet met. And perhaps most importantly, I would not have met the 5 amazing women that are here tonight alongside me. Which brings me to my second point about taking risks. Imagine going through life without having someone believe in you. Think about what a great gift it is to have great parents, or a great team, or a personal boardroom full of mentors that you can call anytime. Or a group of women that celebrate you and support you and treat you like the big freaking deal you are every day. That edit was for you, Mom. I'm hyper aware of the privileged position I stand in. I had people who believed in me every step of the way, who exerted significant pressure on me to take these risks. My advice to all of you is this: find those people, surround yourself with them, and more importantly, be those people for your own wolf pack. As Abby Wambach says, when we live afraid to fail, we don't take risks. We don't bring our entire selves to the table, so we end up failing before we even begin. This is what we do for one another. We believe in someone so much that it enables them to take risks. It's what the WEDC Foundation does for its mentees. It's what makes Huntsville great and pushes us to be the best city in the country. Thank you all so much for being here, not just for me, but for one another, and for the next generation of women who will stand in this place. I can't wait.
Thank you, Carrie. Wow, right? 6 incredible women in a room filled with previous nominees, honorees, and future honorees, all here tonight. It has truly been one of my greatest honors to spend this evening with all of you tonight, highlighting such remarkable, incredible women, extraordinary women doing wonderful things every day. And now, I'd like to bring back to the stage Women Honoring Women Chair, Kim Lewis.
Thank you again, Marie, and for Way 31, for again highlighting all our amazing honorees. It's been inspiring to hear these ladies, and there's so many like them in our community. Maybe this evening's event, or even the reason you're here today, call to mind a Madison County woman that embodies the strength and perseverance and deserves to be honored on this stage. In January, the nominations for next year's group of honorees will open on the WEDC website. We would like to ask you to nominate her and continue this tradition of uplifting women in this community.
You're doing great, Kim.
Yeah. Just got a little bit more.
So many impressive women have graced this stage, and we want to thank the now 115 honorees that have shared their stories, their hearts, and their inspiration with us over the years. So if you are a past honoree, Kim Cottle Lewis included, please stand to be recognized. Thank you, ladies, for your unimaginable strength, smarts, and perseverance that has shown us over the years that we can achieve great things too. That's me again. I would also like to recognize another impressive and hardworking group of women, our amazing scholars. We were overjoyed to bring our total scholar number back up to 25 this fall after the pandemic effects over the last 2 years. Our sensational scholars are diverse and determined. They are a group comprised of women who have overcome extreme loss or fought adversity or are doing what no woman in their family has done before. They are spending their days working, learning, and maybe even serving as mom and spouse. They are studying in fields from cybersecurity and IT with dreams of the FBI, to kinesiology and biology with hopes of pre-med and becoming a surgeon. We have scholars focused on teaching special ed or who want to become a social worker or a psychologist, or scholars studying different areas of business to run their own one day. We are honored to walk with each of them on their journeys forward and are so proud to play a small part in who they will become. Will the current WEDC Foundation scholars please stand and stay standing? If you are a scholar graduate, please join our current scholars in standing and stay standing. These women, our alumna, have been in those shoes, and now some even serve as mentors to our current scholars. Speaking of which, will the sensational and dedicated mentors of our current scholars please stand up as well? And if you have served as a mentor to one of our scholars over the years, please join the rest by standing. Thank you, ladies. Y'all can sit down. This is only a very small collection of all the women that have been touched by this program over the last 24 years. But the true impact goes so much further. When our scholars achieve their dreams and reach economic independence, their family and children benefit as well.
You've heard what the WEDC Foundation does to assist some of our amazing scholars. If you know of a woman that could benefit from our scholar program, please share the WEDC Foundation with her. Applications will open in January on the Foundation website. The selection process will begin in the spring, and new scholars will start in the fall of 2023. All requirements and benefits are listed online also. If you're interested in empowering one of these scholars, we're always looking to grow our list of mentors. Please fill out the information on your envelope card and check the mentor box, and then Jennifer will call you.
Speaking of envelopes, we would love it if you could also make use of them by supporting the WEDC Foundation through a check, cash, or scanning the QR code to donate by credit card. The text to give option is also on the screen. Your generosity will support our scholars through financial assistance, development workshops, and invaluable mentoring.
It's all about empowering and equipping our future women leaders, our scholars. The investments you make today into our scholars will have a powerful impact on the growth of them and building them more successful in this community. While you're completing the envelope, we also like to thank our signature VIP party sponsor, Redstone Federal Credit Union, for the lively celebration before tonight's event. Thank you to the WEDC Diva Duos, our foundation friends, and sustaining supporters for your continued support.
And thank you to our volunteers and in-kind donors that have worked tirelessly behind the scenes to make this event a success. From the chocolates at your seat donated by Pazels, to the event marketing and scholar photography from Designed by Carla, and to DePriest Robbins for the striking Diamond Awards that have carried the Women Honoring Women theme of strength and perseverance through the years. Our beautiful atmosphere and sound is thanks to Matt Schuster and Sound Source Productions, along with Alpha Lit Huntsville for the fun WHW letters here inside, and Designs by Essence for our beautiful balloon photo backdrop at the entrance. We thank Steve Babin for our honoree photography, and of course, thank you to the talented Carmisha for our dinner music. To the VBC staff and servers and our front of house and behind the scenes volunteers, thank you.
And as we've mentioned before, there are always women working behind the scenes, even those being honored. We'd like to thank Leslie for the gorgeous flower arrangements that you see here tonight. And thank you again to our media sponsor, Wave 31, for lending us Suzanne Sullivan for our honoree interviews, and of course, Marie Waxel as our wonderful MC.
Lastly, I'd like to thank our amazing board of directors who go above and beyond with enthusiasm and grace. Ladies, if you will stand. Thank you, board. And before you sit down, my wonderful board members, there is another job for you. Guests, if you have an envelope with a donation or interest in the program selected, please hold it up and a board member near you can collect it. If a board member does not make it to you before we conclude, which is in just a moment, they will also be stationed at the exit doors, and you may hand it to a woman with a bag like this at the door.
And if you're donating on your phone, right? You're done? Okay. Go ahead and save the date on your calendar for next year's Women Honoring Women event, which will be on September 21st of 2023.
And finally, I'm excited to share one more thing with you all tonight. Next year is the 25th anniversary of the WEDC Foundation. Throughout the year, we will share stories of our past scholars, highlighting where they've come, where they are now, as well as share our appreciation for all those that have brought this organization to where it is today. We will also be unveiling a new logo to kick off the next 25 years of the WEDC Foundation. So mark that box on your envelope to stay in touch with us via email to hear about all of these things and how you can help us celebrate 25 years of the foundation.
And thank you, esteemed guests, and for those watching at home, for supporting the WEDC Foundation scholars and the vision to empower women for generations to come. We greatly appreciate all you have done to make tonight's success. But before we end, we wanted to remind you not to forget your delicious chocolate on the table by Pizzelles. And remember, great things can happen when you vote, and when you support women. Be safe and have a good night.
Thank y'all.
If we can have all the previous honorees to come up on stage, we want to take a quick photo with our current honorees.